Kemi Badenoch, the leader of the UK Conservative Party, lambasted the Prime Minister Keir Starmer for the UK abstaining from voting in the UN resolution for the recognition of slavery as the greatest crime in humanity. In a tweet, she stated her reservation with the vote, saying that countries like Iran, Russia, and China had voted for the resolution to have the UK pay reparations to Africans in trillions of dollars, and this will be a great expense of UK taxpayers' money. She had indicated that the UK, especially Britain, had participated in the abolishment of slavery. And since these crimes happened in the past, there's no way compensation should be done today for historical crimes. Well, we have always known Kemi Badenoch as a person who has always had strong sentiments against Africans and immigrants. Considering an immigrant herself, she had even at one time denounced her Nigerian ancestry, and yet she is an beneficiary of the immigration system. When she became the leader of the Conservative Party, her main agenda was to push for an anti-immigration policy.
From next year, 2 million immigrants could automatically claim British citizenship. 2 million people. That's nearly twice the population of Birmingham. That's massive. We've introduced a deportation bill because we're committed to bringing immigration down. Back in February, we demanded Labour triple the time for new immigrants to get a British passport. They voted it down. And now they brought in some half-assed version that's not going to work. Here's what will work. Deport all foreign criminals. Mandatory age checks. No more pretending to be kids. Tougher visa rules and salary thresholds. Disapply the Human Rights Act to immigration cases. No more abusing human rights laws to dodge deportations. Make asylum support repayable. And no permanent right to stay in the UK if you've relied on benefits.
Despite pushing for the anti-immigration policy, her history is that she's a beneficiary of immigration in the UK or taking advantage of the UK system. Her mother came to the UK in 1980 to give birth to her. Before the birthright citizenship was banned in 1981. This was a typical behavior by Nigerian middle-class families who wanted to benefit from the UK system. She returned to Nigeria and lived until she was 16, in time so that she could benefit from free university education in the UK. And that's how she did as an immigrant, or rather as someone who is born in the UK, but she had generally lived in another country, so she was just living like a normal immigrant, though with birthright privileges. Well, she benefited from the system, and now she's pulling the ladder from other immigrants to the UK from benefiting from the same system that has brought her to this level. Clearly shows that she's one of the problems of African progress or African unity with the diaspora, as she feels that the system that she benefited from should not benefit others, but that Africans should be forced to return to Africa and other immigrants also return to their homes, while the citizens of those countries should be elevated up above immigrants. Clearly shows she has no love for people of African descent. She wants to please the British citizens so that they can consider her as a native, and well, they know she's not, and so that when the vote comes, or when the time comes for her to run for prime minister, they might see her as a native and vote for her. Well, we know the previous prime minister Rishi Sunak was or had Indian ancestry and did not try to hide it. Actually, he had both Indian and African ancestry from Kenya. He did not hide it, and he became prime minister, and he abided by the British policies and laws, and everything went smoothly. For Kemi to stretch her limit in forcing her black savior mentality really will not be so beneficial to her as she seeks to become the next prime minister through the Conservative Party. Well, it's a wait and see to see if her strategies of alienating Africans and other immigrants will endear her to the British natives public and vote for her as prime minister. That is all. Kindly like and subscribe this channel.